Alright, so I got a little bit of time, and I decided to take the generator motor back out, and it's been hanging out in this little tote right here with all its bits and pieces, and see if we can kind of go a little bit further along with working on getting this to be a viable engine to fit on a bicycle. And having done that with the last video that we had, one of my subscriber, Huck 01955, contacted me and said he had a carburetor that would probably be very similar to this engine, and it would be a chainsaw. It was a 7-horse chainsaw home light engine, and he does a bunch of look at his channel, he does a bunch of restoration of like antique style chainsaws, and he had some carbs and bits and pieces that are in this box that he had sent me, and I want to say thank you very much for doing that and ask for nothing in return. And so we're going to look into seeing if one of those would be similar to running on this engine. And the reason why we're trying to find another carburetor for this is that this had an internal governor and was just meant to run at one speed and not have a throttle on it, and the carburetor that was on it did not have a throttle plate. In between that period of time, him sending that and me wanting to screw around, this is kind of what I came up with. This is the original carburetor. I noticed it did have a boss. You can see the little lump sticking out of the bottom for where a throttle plate would go. So I stole something off another carburetor, the linkage wise, and then tried to find something that had the right bore. And lo and behold, a penny was the right size. So whether this carburetor will operate with that setup on there or not, I don't know. I don't even know if it has an idle circuit built into it. But that's one option. And then we're going to go look at this together and see what he has sent me, parts and pieces wise. These look pretty cool too. He said 2 more parts carburetors, and one's a complete one with play in the throttle shaft. We're digging. These would be the parts ones. Kind of actually looks about the same size bore, doesn't it? Maybe the parts. Let's go. Well, that is the exact same size bolt pattern. I'd say that bore looks pretty close to each other too. Yeah, that looks like that is pretty damn close. I think I'm wondering right now, look at that hole on top. I wonder if it needs a pulse to run, to be able to run that from the crankcase. But it looks like it's got a regular float bolt in it. I'm not gonna be able to do that one-handed. So I think here's the original. Kind of similar, kind of, sort of, ain't they? Bores are really close too. Same choke lever. I don't know if this got it for a manufacturer. On this one it says the Tilson Manufacturing Company, made in USA. And does that one have anything that says anything? Something right there. Of course, yeah, looks like it says Tilson also. So, worst case scenario, I bet you I can take bits and pieces, I bet you that's even the same throttle plate that would need to be in there with the stops and all. I don't know if those 2 bores are the same. finger gauge. Let's go with the thumb. Yeah, I think so. High-tech calibration. So we'll see. I'm gonna go try making up a manifold. I think these kind of come out the same direction, right? So if I make one manifold, either carb should bolt up. Yeah, they're roughly the same setup. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll take that, I'll bolt it in there for like a jig, but we'll make the cylinder head facing up, and we'll try to make some kind of a crude manifold coming off of there and stick a carburetor on there. And we'll see if we get this thing to fire with these guys and see what we get, and then we can kind of interchange what we got here and see if we can come up with something that works. So I took a few minutes and some drills and some hole saws and laid out a template using the gasket part of it, and got my holes done first just because it makes it easier to hold it when it's on a plate. Now I'm going to go to the bandsaw and make a slice, and then probably one coming down that way. Do 1, 2, 3, and I'll come back this way, probably clamp them together and then take them on the sander, and we'll just kind of roll the corners on these. And then I'm thinking that's a little too much. I want to go to a 90. I want to do a 45 probably. Kind of get it so that that's the flange. Try to get the carb so it maybe sits straight out. Or if I do the other one, it's going to be on an angle like that. All depends on what I find in my hoard, where I may run down the Home Depot and buy an elbow. But I'm going to look at my stash first before I do that. And before I do anything, let's go make some flanges. Alright, do some whittling on the bandsaw. Let's go knock off the corners of that sucker and kind of make them similarly, like, you know, the juice. I betcha that's a little warm. Still match. Don't make fun of my pliers. Hurt your foot? Yeah, do that 2 more times. We'll take care of that point and that point, and I'll probably run it around on the belt sander and kind of make them pretty even all the way around. But you get the idea. And let's do a little fine tuning. Use the top of it. There's no backing plate. It's actually softer. I know you guys can't see it. You kind of like feed it into the paper, you know. Light's getting you, but kind of gives you the idea. So now you got 2 matching sets, a little more fine tuning, but we're just going to do a quick mock-up and tack an elbow on there and get to where we want and put some sealer on it. Alright, so I got those 2 plates mounted. One's mounted on the motor and one is mounted on the carb, and the idea is I grabbed a couple of elbows. My parts came in for the Tundra. That's a separate video I'm doing at the same time. But the idea, I think I'm just gonna tack them in 2 spots, just because this is more of a mock-up, something like that, and it'll give me the capacity of running it in the upright position. And we'll see if we can get it to run in the upright position between this and the other carbs, and see if we can get a bench running decent motor, and then we'll move on. And the reason I'm just going to tack it and put some sealer around it is probably because I'm going to cut it up, because I don't know if the carburetor is going to sit like this, how I want to shape it. If the motor's going to be on an angle, I'll have to, you know, tweak it And between the two elbows, I'll be able to accomplish that, but what's the sense of welding all that up solid just for one shot and then I throw it away? So if it's got two tacks on it, I could just cut the tacks off later on and move them around and fine tune it on the bike once we're done. So we're gonna go get on that, get the welder over here and set that up. Alright, let's fire up the metal glue gun and we'll tack that sucker on there. And we're just gonna eyeball it. Let's see. I want to get even between the two screws. What do you think? Look good to you guys? Over right there. Close enough. We're gonna get a little bit more in that top one. Now it's stuck on there. And let's go get our penny carburetor on there. I can't see a thing. You guys can't see a thing, can you? We're just gonna have to watch them around the corner. We're gonna switch hands. We're gonna do a little lefty welding. Do you see the problem? I do. Wow. Good weld. That's the problem. It's got to be that direction. I gotta grind that back a hair. That means when you start moving too fast, you move slower. Nothing on the card. Alright, let's try that shit again. Alright. Sometimes the best laid plans go south. Probably, I get in there. Let's say I might have to bolt the carb. Good. So, it's going a little uphill, so I can. The motor in sitting in that stand is actually kind of sitting on an angle, so I was kind of going for square, which it is. Close enough. We'll stick a piece of wood under the stand to get the motor straight, but you figure something like that. Now the motor's up and down. Anywhere close enough is good enough for it to run anyway, as far as the float's concerned. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take some black right stuff and I'm just going to seal right around these guys to make it a tight seal. We'll let this kind of cure overnight and probably get on it tomorrow and see if we can start getting this motor to run and see how it'll run. We'll swap some carburetors out and see how that works out for us. but now I'm gonna go jump on my Tundra video because my parts are in for that. So as far as this one's concerned, thanks for watching, comment, subscribing. If you guys want to see the process move a little faster, a little slower, give me a guide to what the throttle of the work being done you feel. Am I showing too much? Am I not showing enough? That kind of deal. So if you would, leave it in the comments down below. Again, thanks for watching. Bye.